Imagine sitting in your car, running late to an appointment, and you're stuck at the world's most congested intersection, thinking to yourself, could my life be any more stressful? And then imagine that you're this guy, sitting in his cushy office, just watching animations and metrics play out on the screen in front of him as he tries to solve the city's ever-growing traffic problems.
An orange mocha frappuccino, please? Thanks.
Yeah, that guy's me, and I'm here to tell you that even though traffic planning is more complicated than it looks, Mini Motorways keeps everything zen and chill even when your roads are going to crap. Hey guys, it's Cody with Indie Game Pulse. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to find the newest and best indie games and hear genuine reviews from an indie game fanatic like yourself. Thanks to the folks at Stride PR for sending a review code to me, and let's get right into it. Mini Motorways throws you headfirst into the office chair of a traffic coordinator, with the responsibility of connecting different colored drivers to the matching businesses. Each time a marker pops up on a building, a car needs to essentially pick up that marker and then return home with it. It's like every building is a post office, except the mail drivers are on strike, so everyone needs to get their own mail. However, if a building racks up 6 markers at a time, then a timer begins to count down over that specific building. Each marker picked up during that time subtracts from the timer, but really you need to brainstorm and fast as to how to get more drivers to that facility. Your play will end if you do not keep up with that countdown timer and it reaches its limit. Throughout the weeks and months as you play, new buildings and homes will spawn on the slowly expanding map to give you new problems to solve and routes to create. Add on top of that the limited amount of road tiles, and you can get yourself in quite a pickle. Thankfully, the game gives you the option to pause the game and collect your thoughts, or when things are going smoothly, to speed up to double time. No matter what speed the cars are moving, the way everything plays out with markers popping up left and right and your cars working in their systematic ways all according to your plans, it's oh so pleasing and mesmerizing to watch. We'll talk more about the art and graphics in a minute. So you have your drivers, your roads, but what other tools does the game offer you to expedite the daily commute for your relentless drivers? Well, at the start of every new week in the game, you're given a choice between 2 upgrades and how many new road sections you'll have to work with going forward. These upgrades range from automated traffic lights to the ever-confounding but somehow helpful traffic circles and even motorways to expedite traffic along important routes. These are not one-use items, but you can right-click to remove them for use somewhere else and adjust to the needs of your growing city. If you're playing this game not only for relaxation purposes but need a competitive facet to keep you engaged, there are leaderboards for each city which highlight how many markers your drivers have collected. I had a hard time breaking even 1,000 in most cities, but some of these scores are in the 10,000s, so there is a high level of skill to be learned in Mini Motorways. There are also daily and weekly challenges that will throw you some curveballs, like this daily challenge that only gives you 1 bridge and 500 road tiles, and that's it. There will always be something new and fresh to try when you feel you've reached your limit in the normal mode. Now you may notice as you're watching the footage in the background that there isn't a whole lot of variety as far as what you're looking at. Mini Motorways features a minimalist design with simple but pleasing colors spread across the cities, but what I really like is the focus on geographical representation. Featuring 11 cities from Los Angeles to Moscow, Rio de Janeiro to Tokyo, each city has its key landmarks, or more specifically rivers and oceans, represented and acting as obstacles to overcome. There are no camera controls, and I appreciate that the developers have kept everything as streamlined as possible. The camera slowly zooms out from its narrow starting point and reveals more of the map and more space for buildings and roads to be placed. It's a gradual way for the game to ramp up the difficulty. Although the game is streamlined in its camera, don't think that they've skimped on graphical features, as you can enable light mode, dark mode, and a third, more color-neutral mode from the main menu, and you can also switch between light and dark modes in-game. The dark and light mode switch even brings about a change in the soundtrack that we'll talk about more in a bit, but the graphical options are a huge help. When I first booted up the game around 9 PM, it was naturally in light mode, and when I got to the menu and saw the option for dark mode, I switched it on just to try it out. I immediately felt my eyes relax, and I hadn't even noticed that they were strained. What an excellent addition to the game. You can also change the screen resolution and toggle full screen or windowed mode. Now for the soundtrack, which I didn't personally enjoy, but I also didn't dislike it. I'll play you a little bit so you can get a feel for it, but it's a very zen, relaxing soundtrack with some pops and clicks which I think are supposed to help you relax. What I did like about the soundtrack is how it responds to what's going on in the world, and especially giving you a different vibe when playing during the day versus at night. The sound design is really well done too. You can hear motors revving from one side of the map to the other and hear car horns blaring as traffic accumulates at a traffic light. Combined with the minimalist visuals, the Zen soundtrack and effects serve well together to create such a pleasing atmosphere and experience. So the question is, should you play Mini Motorways? I recommend it. If you want a relaxing, light puzzle experience that can lull you into playing for a couple hours when you only meant to play for 15 minutes, then this is the game for you. With its simplistic visual style and broad set of scenarios between major cities across the world, Mini Motorways is a lot of fun, especially for a game that only costs $10 US. Thank you very much to my 1,210 subscribers for your support. If you like what you see here at Indie Game Pulse, join us on Discord and consider helping us grow by supporting us on Patreon. Links are in the description. For more top indie game countdowns and reviews, check out the videos on your screen now, and I'll see you on the other side.